Thanks to my patrons, I have 3 albums to cover, and they're all from bands who definitely aren't as well known as other bands I've covered on Rocked. This video's theme is all about new artist discovery on How Did I Miss This? The question, how did I miss this, is a little bit more understandable as I've heard very little or next to nothing about all 3 bands and their albums. But I am totally up for Patreon pledges that support Rocked and want to promote the albums that they love. So with that being said, let's take a look at Revolt, the debut album from Wildfire. Wildfire is a band formed in 2015 down in Mississippi, and I was specifically told that the space between the words wild and fire is important when looking them up. Semantics aside, Wildfire, and a quick explanation, is a hard rock band with a bit of a post-grunge vibe, with sometimes adding in a little more electric style to it, comparable to Breaking Benjamin, Papa Roach, Seven Dust, and nothing more. Their debut album Revolt was released back on May 23rd, 2017, and was highlighted by the single Villain. The song shows promise and ability, but when I first heard it, I admit I didn't know what to make of their style. It sounds like many different bands I've heard before in the delivery, with newer alt-rock with, dare I say, a bit of an emo flair. But it's done well. When you listen to the rest of Revolt, however, you realize that Villain is not the standard sound these guys perform. There's a bit of variety on this album. Different speeds are taken, different styles performed for many songs. Across 15 tracks with a few short interludes, Wildfire offers a lot in their debut. Revolt excels with songs like Disconnected, I Need a Surgeon, and Revolt the title track. These songs flow better, and you can truly make out how each instrument contributes along with creating a good rhythm and set of riffs. There are other tracks that do sound a bit similar, especially in the guitar work, but that's not to say the guitar work or format is bad, because they still make decent songs. Several tracks on the music side really remind me of Seven Dust and Breaking Benjamin, while vocally it reminds me of several different bands depending on the song. Lyrically, there is a lot of standard stuff you've heard before. While the delivery is good, it doesn't exactly strike a chord when you hear it, like Being Lied To in Bad Memory, or feeling the rage in a song called Rage. Wildfire has potential, and Revolt proves that. There are some songs on here that really stand out, even if there are a couple tracks that definitely are the standard hard rock style that we've heard 1,000 times before, with the same lyrics, riffs, and everything else. That being said though, there's definite merit here, and I'm really looking forward to see where Wildfire goes after this. And hey, something good came out of Mississippi! Overall, Revolt is a good debut from a band trying to break out with a lot of potential. Wildfire should strike a chord with people who are fans of the music like Breaking Benjamin or Seven Dust. If you've heard the single Villain and are undecided, check out some of their other songs, because the hidden gems on Revolt are what make it worth listening to. The second album I've been asked to look at is Beserker by Beast in Black, which is the new band by Anton Kabanen, formerly of Battle Beast. This request comes from the same person who asked that I look at Battle Beast albums, so it's all in that same connection. It was in 2015 that Anton left Battle Beast, and now he is re-emerged as a strong vocalist with a unique sound in front of a wild power metal style. And when I say unique, I say that because it's a higher octave that is rarely seen in metal today. Blind and Frozen was the first song I had heard from Beast in Black before I actually sat down to listen to Beserker. The two thoughts I had were, number one, wow, that voice coming out of that man, and two, this music really feels like a combination of 80s synth electronic metal and power metal straight out of Europe that matches quality over every other band working right now. Much of Beserker had that feeling. Part of the album feels like listening to a time capsule of the wild metal in the 80s, while other parts are all about the speed and volume. What's impressive about Beast in Black is that neither style feels forced. Both styles suit the band, and they are able to deliver it all in a good format. There is a good amount of music here across 12 tracks, several of which going over 5 minutes in length. The songs that really capture the heart of that Nordic Finnish metal are Zod the Immortal and The Fifth Angel. This is music that should get you excited for a band like Beast in Black and all the energy it brings. I wouldn't call Beserker some type of groundbreaking album, as there are songs where the lyrics and sound do get a little on the cheesy side, such as Crazy, Mad, Insane, and Go to Hell. It's a bit on the stock metal side there. But even skipping over a few of those examples, you'll find a lot you can enjoy. Hearing a singer with that high of an octave and singing clean is becoming a little bit more rare now in metal. It's just not heard anymore. But Beast in Black definitely prove it can happen. There are some songs on here that are great. They want to really make you pick up an axe and wheel it around like on that album cover with the big wolf beast. Seriously, that's great album artwork for a metal album. Overall, Beserker is not only proof that Anton Kabanin had life after Battle Beast, but that he has some serious talent along with this band. If you in any way want that power metal, 80s synth metal style, or are just a fan of Battle Beast, you should check out what Beast in Black has for you. Finally, the last album I've been asked to look at is Perspective, an EP from the band Scarlet Canary. Scarlet Canary is a female-fronted band from Colorado, and Perspective is the band's latest EP, released May 27th, 2017. When I was asked to listen to this EP from a patron, I was told that Scarlet Canary was a band that he didn't see getting the recognition they deserve. After doing a little research and seeing how much they've toured along with releasing EPs, I kind of understand why. This is definitely a band I never would have found about, and it's flown under the radar for quite a while now. The music Scarlet Canary has mostly revolved around a hard rock style with an impressive vocalist in Hannah Maddox. Through the 6-track EP, you get an impressive voice in front of some well-mixed and polished rock. Spectral is one of the singles the band used to help promote the album along with their touring. There are strong riffs, and the change between screaming and singing adds a lot to the track. The lower chord riffs and bass drum really pair well with Maddox. It's a strong combination. It's energetic and impassioned. The rest of the album holds these qualities too for the most part. You get a good blast of music in the opening songs like I'll Be Okay and Antidote. To make real criticism, there isn't a ton of variety in some of the other songs, meaning that the music is a bit similar sounding even after a couple listens. Even with that criticism though, I can't deny the talent and drive this band has, along with the fact that this EP is good and it makes me appreciate what I'm hearing. This is the perfect example of a band who's trying to fight for attention with constant touring, even big festival play, to really get their name out there. And for every one awful mainstream rock band, there are tons of bands like Scarlet Canary fighting for attention. So let's hope they get it, because they definitely have the talent, and something like Perspective shows they do know what they're doing. Overall, Perspective is a good EP that shows Scarlet Canary is a band proving they have talent in the hard rock world. For anyone who is looking for a female vocal band to scream and sing with, then giving a lesser-known band like Scarlet Canary could be worth your time. To close out, I'm kind of glad I got to talk about 3 new albums from bands I knew very little to nothing about. There is so much music out there that we will never get to hear, so I kind of like that there's a format now to really showcase, or at least shine a little light on bands and albums that may never reach people. I mean, for a lot of us, there's only FM radio, and that's all you can listen to, or just hopping online and playing the same stuff on Pandora. Sometimes when you only have mainstream, you don't get to branch out that much, so it's kind of nice to give a chance on something new. Says the man who has a video series discussing the top 10 Billboard mainstream songs every month. Ironic. A special thanks to the 3 patrons who donated to Rocked and gave these suggestions, and thanks also to all of my patrons on Patreon. You can also help support Rocked this way and check out perks to get for helping by clicking the link on the YouTube card or in the description. Please subscribe, you can check out my concert photography on Instagram, and you can keep up to date with Rocked on Facebook and Twitter.